Hey, you old beekeepers. Steve-O here. Thanks for stopping in today. I thought I'd show you what I got going on. Finished up that vaporizer. Easy build. Anybody can do this. And guess what? It works. Don't you just love it? You had no doubt in Steve-O, did you? I didn't think so. Alright, let's go for the build here. Show you what I got. There she is. Oh, what is this? Oh my goodness. Let me taste this. Man, is that good. That's stinging nettle infusion. Stinging nettle tea with Damiana in it. Excellent. All kind of health benefits to that. Try that. This is going to be some health benefits right here for these old honeybees. Check this out. Now, this is just an El Cheapo Revlon hair dryer, and what I did right here, there's a cold button here, and I just electrical taped that down. Then I threw some more electrical tape down to do that up. Okay, now inside here is that element that I bought, and what I did here, as you can see, I siliconed on each side of that just to hold that in place so it doesn't bounce around. That's all I did. Okay, that hole right there, that's a mistake. We call that a mistake. Okay, but guess what? It got covered up with my cap. All right, so that's there. I put a little silicone here to seal that off. Down here, I just cut 2.5 inch pieces of pipe, and I roughed them up. Whenever you're working with JB Weld, always rough up the parts. And then I smeared some in. I put a clamp here, just a little spring clamp to hold the pipes together. Put a smear on there, left it on the bench. Came back in 24, flipped it over, ran another bead crowned here, let that set for 24. Then I came back and roughed up the pipe and the top of this on both ends. That gives me some legs, because you want this thing to sit upright. Okay, you could do this with 2-inch pipe or whatever. You could do it with 3-inch pipe. You had extra 3-inch pipe. Now the handle was a simple deal here. Very comfortable handle, and all I did here was take a piece of 3/4. I don't remember the exact length of it, but play it by ear. Heated it up with a heat gun, squeezed it in a vise, and when I put it in the vise, I tilted it up a little bit, and while it was in the vise, I dripped some cold water on it, and that held it there. I went to the other end and did the same thing. You can actually see the imprints of where the vise was. Once I did that, I had a straight piece of pipe with the 2 smashed ends. Then what I did is clamp this in the vise, and then I started heating this center portion up. You put welder gloves on, or thick gloves, so because you can burn yourself with this thing. Heat this pipe up, and then you just slowly shape it to the shape you want, and keep it shaped while it's cooling. And then you can have a cool rag on standby to kind of hit it, and man, it'll lock right up nice for you. And then again, rough up the pipe on both this handle portion and the pipe before you JB weld it. Always let this stuff set for 24 hours before you play with it. All right, now the only thing I glued on this deal, here's the clean out cap, and if you look in there, you can see the element. That's that little pan, the vaporizer pan. I did not change the factory build on this thing at all. That's why I left it the length it is. This whole thing is 3 feet from the nozzle here to the end. 3 feet. That's that. Now I did glue this 3-inch into the T, and I did glue this bushing, and this pipe. That's the only thing glued on this rig. All right. So that's that. Now we'll load this thing and demo it for you. Let me get my drink out of the way here. I'll be right back. Now this thing takes about, you're looking at about a minute 30 seconds for it to heat up. You'll notice some vapor coming out of the front end. Now all I'm going to do here By the way, I'm going to get a funnel, cheap funnel at the dollar store, and I'm going to silicone a funnel in here. So all I got to do is drop it in. This is my feed tube. Come over here, my acid. It's just crystallized. I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to put a scoop and a half in here just for demoing purposes. Okay. Normally for this application, you use this is a 1/2 inch cap, by the way, and this came with this vaporizer. And what the guy told me was you put 1 cap per single hive, 2 caps potion for a double stacked hive. He had that worked out. Okay. So there's your goodies in the pan. I'm going to put the cap back on. You don't need it real tight. Just snug it up. Just snug it up like that. That's it. This is going to take so much work out of these bees shooting this oxalic acid. It's unreal because you don't have to break the hive apart. You just slide something underneath the hive, block off. If you got a screen bottom, block off that screen bottom temporarily, and then you're going to shoot the stuff to it. Now, this little Revlon deal here, I'll tell you, it came with it's kind of cool. It came with a circuit breaker on it. That's different. Now, when I go to the field with this thing, obviously I'm going to have to take a generator with me, but I have a little cheap generator, okay? Now to plug this, you just come over here and plug this thing in. You're going to have your battery for this thing anyway. And so yeah. All right, now we got her going. And by the way, you do not need, this doesn't need to be glued in or anything. I thought I was going to have to silicone this. Not. Because this is beveled. And so I just took my time and worked on it. And it's a compression fit. That's all. All right, we're going to keep an eye on this thing here. When you see smoke coming out, you're going to hit it. Yeah, this is going to take a lot of the pain out of this deal for me on this oxalic acid, because you're doing it now. See, it's coming out the end right there. This smoke is coming out the end. I think you can see it. I'm going to flip this to low. There she goes. There she's coming out now. I've still got it plugged into the battery. See the oxalic acid vapor coming out of there. Coming out nice. I'm going to let it go for a little bit while it's still going. See, it's pumping still good. Coming out really good now. You see it? I'm going to come over here and disconnect my battery. Alright? And you just keep her going until it all pumps out. All that smoke pumps out. Now the beauty of this thing is, with this hair dryer, you can't put, see, that was a good 30-second blast of oxalic in there. You can't reload this until you get this thing cools off. There still is a little bit of crystal in there, so I didn't heat it long enough. We're going to heat it up again. I'm going to shut this off a second. I'm still working out that, the timing on this thing, but I can see this is going to be an excellent tool and a cheap tool. Like I said, I think I got $10 in this dryer, Walmart. All these goodies here was only, I think, 20. I don't think I paid over $25 for it. That was the most expensive thing. It was $5 and change for that tea. But let's try this again. Yeah, see it smoking. See, I'm still working out the timing. It's kicking out a lot, see. I'm getting it figured out, okay? You do not want to get downwind of this thing, guys. You can see it's blowing away from me here. Do not get downwind and get a lungful of this oxalic acid. It will knock you slap out. Very bad. Like I said before, I don't know why I don't kill the bees, but it don't. And it don't affect the honey. It does not affect the small larva or anything. Plus the beauty of this whole deal here, you're not breaking the hive down. You're not taking a chance of smashing the queen either. You're just going to come up, shove this thing in the front of the hive, and blast it in. Block off the bottom of the hive. Let at least 30 seconds of oxalic acid blow in the front door. I'm going to call that good. And I'm going to say, and now the beauty of this, you can leave this running. And that will help cool off this plate in here, all right, for your next treatment. All burned out. It all cooked out of that pan. I mean, this thing gets hot. Now I want to show you something in here. I have to get up in the light. If you can see on the other side of that pan right there, what that is I needed a heat shield. I figured, because this hot pan I did not want laying directly on that plastic. So what I did, I happened to be making a batch of chicken soup there the other day, and I took the can from that canned chicken soup and I bent it, and I said, look at there's my heat shield. So what I did is bent it to contour the bottom of that T, and then I put a big gob of silicone down in there. I test fitted it first, then I put that gob of silicone and I pushed that. Alright guys, back with you. Ran out of battery, so I came back and reviewing the footage, and I'm just wrapping up the show when this camera quit on me. But anyway, I was showing you the can. All it was a chicken meat can that I put in, beveled it, and test fitted it. So I created a heat shield underneath this pan because I did not want that laying on that plastic, because that does get very hot. But with this 3-inch pipe, this pan actually is only sitting on the corners. There is actually an air gap underneath that pan. And so anyway, I embedded that lid of that can in silicone, pushed it in, let it set for 24 hours, and then I installed my vaporizer in that. So pretty much wraps up the show. I appreciate you stopping in, and I will catch you on the next show. Thanks a lot. Be happy. Bye-bye.